traders, companies with soft loans. House of Representatives to review laws restricting press freedom. Court stops implementation of new electricity tariff. Uniport students attempt Guinness World Record. On the foreign scene, Liberia to set up first war crimes court. I am Constance Mega. Over 3,000 entrepreneurs and 100 companies have benefited from the 4 billion naira matching fund loan scheme for nano, small and medium businesses in River State. Governor Simeon Ifubara said this during the launch of the scheme, which is in partnership with the Bank of Industry (BOI) at the Obiwali Cultural Centre in Port Harcourt today. The governor charged beneficiaries to use the loan viciously.
The former launch and the second check to 3,666 micro, small and medium scale enterprises and 100 companies from all the 23 lower areas, including businesses who, by no means, practical of this program is to financially empower you to achieve your full economic potentials and contribute to the development of society.
Well, Governor Fubara also asked the management of the River State Microfinance Agency, RIMA, to ensure that the loans are recovered.
This is a very big loan, not given as a charity, and therefore must be paid back. I urge you to monitor the progress of the beneficiaries in the businesses and ensure the 100% recovery of the loan to guarantee the sustainability of this program. Even if you have a letter, you must show commitment and seriousness.
Our correspondent reports that the governor presented dummy checks to 23 people from each of the local government areas in the state. Moving on, some Nigerians have faulted the ongoing 615,000 naira minimum wage negotiation between the NLC and the federal government. As you may know, the Nigerian Congress NLC insisted that the proposed minimum wage is realistic. The system claims that some states cannot pay such an amount if approved. But speaking on Nigerian FM 20 Crossfire, some callers said the proposed minimum wage is not in the interest of workers.
They do not get the majority of Nigerian law. They should put up their team of work. Let it not be the level of the hand. First, the position is to fight for yourself and before they can see. Please, we are begging you. After the government have attended to you, look up to the plight of Nigerians.
Because the minimum wage we have not been able to achieve it. So how can we continue to minimum wage? And if you see the kind of labor we have, they are not exactly demanding that because they don't have the capacity. They want the 650,000 they are talking about. They don't have the capacity.
While responding, NLC chairman in River State, Alex Awamo, said the position of organized labor is to address current economic challenges. Forms to conclude work on the sustained player pay. Well, the chairman of the Governor Abraham said state governors are assessing their financial capacity to understand the significant effects of the various recommendations of the 37-man tripartite committee on minimum wage. But the governors, however, say they remain committed to the process. In another development, the Federal Court in Kano State has stopped the National Electricity Regulatory Commission (NERC) and the Kano Electricity Distribution Company (KEDC) from implementing the new electricity tariff for Band A customers. The suit was filed by some owners in Kano State, with the presiding judge Abdullahi Liman also restrained NERC and KEDC from intimidating and threatening to disconnect the applicant's electricity supply. Away from this, aspiring journalists and communicators are encouraged to follow the rules of their professions in exercising freedom of expression to avoid spreading hateful messages. Well, the news manager of Wazobia Info FM Shoma Ezenwafo said this during an event organized by the Faculty of Communication and Media Studies, University of Port Harcourt, in commemoration of World Press Freedom Day. Well, the content creator manager of the Red Television Authority, Port Harcourt, Blessing Wonukuru, also cautioned professionals against exposing themselves to misinformation and disinformation. Our correspondent reports that other speakers for the event included the Dean of the Faculty, Walter Hijirika, and Uniport Public Relations Officer, Sam Quinn. Some students also spoke.
Today being the war is a very important day for the rest globally. We need security and manpower from the state, from the federal to carry out press efficiently.
What Press Freedom Day is like a day where communicators come together and express themselves, give ideas, and educate us on what Press Freedom Day or how the country should be.
Today is one of the best days that I've ever experienced so far.
It has been really so nice for us to learn about the World Press Days. We have learned a lot of things about the journalists and all. It's been a wonderful day for us.
In the same vein, the House of Representatives is working to engage the media in reviewing laws and practices that restrict press freedom and the ability of media to carry out their constitutional role effectively. The chair of the House Committee on Media and Public Affairs, Idune Rotimi, said this today. Well, the theme for this year's Press Freedom Day is shaping the future of right, freedom of expression as a driver for all other humans. Still to come, Uniport students attempt Guinness World Record. Stay tuned. Thanks for staying with us, and now to the rest of the news. A student at the University of Port Harcourt, Uniport, Mary Afoma, is attempting to break the Guinness World Record for longest baking by an individual. Afoma, a 200-level student in the Department of Music, plans to bake for 72 hours non-stop to break the current record set by an Irish chef, Alan Fisher. But noting that she had been called demeaning names for baking cakes in school, the 27-year-old tells our correspondent why she decided to attempt this feat.
From school, I've been baking for a long time, and I get to school, I get to hostel. When my name changed to cake girl, they don't use it in an honorary form. When they call cake girl, they call it meaning weight, so that it makes me feel bad. I'm selling it. I'm going to a point where this is what feed me. I can't be ashamed of it. I believe I carry your market on your head. If I can do something, this can be positive. You know, it has to inspire. It's inspired me. I cannot share this on another level. And this is me baking, not just the cake girl.
Well, the student started her bake to break attempt on Wednesday and has baked cakes and meat pies for over 50 hours. It ends tomorrow. Lecturers and students from her school are at the venue to cheer her on. Moving on now, over 100 youths who said they accompanied the chairman of the National Council of Nigeria, Chijioke Ihumo, on the protest to the home of lawmaker Martin Amaewule last year are asking for help. Recall that at the heat of the political crisis, protests were held to protest the impeachment of Governor Ifubara in October 2023. Well, speaking on behalf of the youths, Michael Dokubo said the families of those who lost their lives during the protest are suffering. He accused Mr. Ihumo of abandoning them after they risked their lives for the governor during the impeachment plot.
Too many persons died on that day who were arrested. Even if the court has actually set us free, up to this time, our leader, Mr. Chijioke Ihumo, who called all of us and we keep calling him, he has been ignoring our cause. Those of us who suffered and labored on that day are not being recognized, and seeing all over that those who were not even there were not found, are those who have been employed, those who have been recognized, and so they are benefiting even when they did not work for the state. So we are using this opportunity to also call His Excellency to please recognize the youth of River State who actually supported him.
Mr. Dokubo said that they will march to the government house Port Harcourt in protest if Governor Ifubara or Mr. Ihumo fails to reach out to them within the next 7 days.
We are going to reinforce again. We'll come out to the streets and protest against the leader, Mr. Chijioke Ihumo, and His Excellency, the Executive Governor of River State. We are not happy because those who actually fought on that day, those who came out in number, are not being recognized. We keep calling on Mr. Chijioke Ihumo, the leader of the youth, shall not be taking our cause, and we are using this opportunity to call on His Excellency, the Executive Governor of River State, to call our aids. As in the next 7 days, we will mobilize all the youth and we will protest against our leader, Mr. Chijioke Ihumo, and His Excellency, the Executive Governor of River State.
When contacted, Chijioke Ihumo declined comments. Elsewhere, the leadership of Iwuroha Progressive Organization, IPO, in River State has advised the public to disregard the statement by the president of Ohaneze Ndibu, Emmanuel Iwan, that the Ikwere people are Igbos. The president of IPO, Okachiku Dibia, during a press conference in Port Harcourt, said there is no historical evidence to support the claims of Ohaneze Ndibu that Ikweres are Igbos.
The IPO finds it offensive, insensitive, but to be credited with the falsehood and funded claim that the Ikwe people are Igbo. To us as IPO, the Ikwe is Igbo, means all the ancestral communities in the Ikwe originated from Igbo. This is not true and can never be true. Ikwe people are a distinct nation recognized in Nigeria and United Nations. Where language is one of the recognized languages in Nigeria and United Nations. Where is in power can contact the appropriate federal government authorities and the UN. Why Ikwe is a political name, Ihuroha is a native name. I'm told to refer to us as ethnic nation. The history of Ikwe people have been well written, documented and established.
Dr. Dibia, working on the identity and origin of the Ikwe people, said Mr. Iwan should not assume speaking the Igbo dialect any Ikwe person to be a native of their land.
If you're talking about history, don't say you are from Igbo. Give us a piece of history. Let's us to Igbo. We are telling you today that there's a piece of history that takes us to Benin, Abuja, and Igbo. That in all these original migrations, immigrations, and inter-Ikwe migrations, none place to Igbo land except because IPO's reply to Igbo on the history of Igbo is that Igbo is a federation of aborigines and migrants who have come together under one political group called Igbo ethnic nation. It is therefore very unthinkable to claim that Igbo is Igbo because of the existence of few Arab communities allowed to settle in Igbo land.
Elsewhere, Nollywood in River State has thanked Governor Simeon Ifubara for ensuring that the late sound engineer Precious Oforum had a befitting burial. Recall that the 26-year-old late Precious Oforum died in a boat mishap alongside actor Junior Pope Odumodu and 3 others in early April, going to the set of Other Side of Life produced by Adamalu. Also, at the media briefing in Port Harcourt, Eric Stevenson, representing the new Nollywood River State, said the death of Precious Oforum gave them the courage and strength to embark on a walk that drew the attention of River's people and the state government.
Before today, in this state, we are like sheep without shepherd. We are once told in this same state that we bring nothing to the table. Truthfully, they are right, but this time because we are tired of constantly losing our practitioners, we are tired of our crowds and intellect, we are tired of being humiliated, marginalized, and extorted from. I just mentioned you are Rivers from the Holy City. The death of Precious Oforum, instead of bringing us sorrow, brought courage, strength, and we took our cry through that walk to the government's house of River State.
Mr. Stevenson also said the governor's emotional, physical, and financial support to Nollywood in the States during the period, giving them hope for further collaboration.
This single collaboration with you has given us hope that we are not forgotten. It has given us hope, knowing that for the first time we will be listening to. For now, all we want is a meeting with you because we know that you will open your eyes to see that through us you can create thousands of jobs daily. Through us you can create more revenue for the state. Through us the state can be made a movie hub, and we want to have the likes of Precious Oforum and other practitioners daily leave the space in search of greener pastures. Thank you, your excellency, sir, because this love you have shown to Nollywood we will never forget.
And now we're bringing news from around the world.
Liberian President Joseph Boakai has signed an executive order to establish the country's first war crimes court. It comes more than 20 years after the end of 2 civil wars, which killed 50,000 people. That's the news this evening. Before we go, let's take a look at the highlights. On the news, you heard that Governor Ifubara has empowered 3,060 traders and companies with $4 billion soft loans. House of Representatives is to review law restricting press freedom. A federal high court in Kano State has stopped the implementation of the new electricity tariff. A youth student is attending the Guinness World Record for longest baking by an individual. On the forum, Nigerian President Joseph Boakai has signed an executive order to establish the country's first war court. The news was edited by Martha Okerenkem. To reach the news team, send an SMS